Hello and welcome. Good evening if it is evening for you. This is Heather Curtis. I am your Magical Life Mentor. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I am super thrilled to be here with you and I do appreciate you. So Magical Life Mentoring is all about mentoring you to be in action. Being in action about what you're really passionate about the direction that you would love to go, where you can have a life that you love living. So tonight, I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I have dealt with a lot of rejection, like a lot of rejection in my life. A lot of obstacles have come up for me, and so I wrote an article. It was a little while back, and so I want to read the article that I wrote to you, and let you know a little bit of story behind it of what's happened in my life. So it's 8 strategies for successfully dealing with rejection. And this it's not necessarily gonna apply to romantic or, love life rejection. It can actually apply to rejection in all sorts of ways. So I'm gonna jump right into this article with you. So rejection can sting, but it doesn't have to derail your efforts or your future. Rejection is a part of life that everyone must face. While rejection isn't enjoyable, it's rarely fatal. Luckily, there are strategies that you can use to help you use rejection as a stepping stone to success. And that's the key. Use rejection to help you move forward. So try these little tips that I have here for you to deal with rejection quickly and effectively. All right, so that way you can move on. The first one is to take a short break. So whether a potential romantic partner, your boss, or a Hollywood director rejected you, take a short period of time to grieve and pull yourself together. Avoid taking too long to re-engage with your life though, right? Don't take too long. Take the time you need, but get back out there as quickly as possible. So for me, what I like to do is I give myself a specific amount of time I call it indulging myself. I am going to indulge myself right now in a little pity party for the next 15 minutes, and then I'm moving forward. Or if I need to call a friend and say, hey, can would you indulge me for the next 10 minutes so I can just vent? Give yourself that moment in time. I know that for me, I mentor my kids this way a lot. I'll let them know, hey, be upset about it for a certain amount of time and then be done. Know that that's the time, your time is up and now you're moving on. So that's the first one, is take a short break. Secondly, is to realize that many other opportunities exist. How many potential romantic partners exist in the world, right? Millions. You'll have other ideas to pitch to your company, right? So if you got rejected at work, you're going to have other ideas. Your mind is infinite. You're connected to an infinite wisdom in the universe, and you can access that at any time. A single rejection only means that you're participating in the world, right? The only people who ever get rejected are the ones that are doing things. Somebody sitting at home on the couch, they're not going to get rejected because they're not risking anything. So the one thing is to feel a little bit happy about yourself because you actually got rejected. That means that you're doing something. So realize that there are many other opportunities out there that exist in your future. And many of them, a lot of times, are going to be far better than the one you just got rejected for. That's actually happened to me quite a bit of times. And there's times when I've been rejected for something, and later on, I was really glad that I was. I had a job that was that way. It was way back in the early 90s, and I had applied for a position where I would be in a retention rep for Sprint Business. And I didn't get the job, and I was so frustrated about it. But in hindsight, when I look back at it, I am really glad I didn't get that position because there was a lot more pressure. There was some more money, but not enough for the amount of pressure that came with it. And then I ended up not liking that manager at all. So it was a blessing in disguise. All right, so learn from the rejection. This is point number 3 that I wanted to make. And that is, was there something that you could have done better? Take the opportunity to really look at the rejection and learn from it. If you can learn one small thing from each negative experience in your life, you'll have far fewer of those negative experiences. Right? So if it's appropriate, ask what you can do to improve. A job interviewer might be very willing to give you feedback, a few points that you can apply to in the future. But if you do ask that, I will advise you to listen closely to those answers. Don't ask a question that you don't want the answer to, right? So if you're going to ask for feedback, make sure that you listen to the feedback and that you really want the feedback. But if you're coming from learning from the rejection, then you should be okay. So some questions, some quests that you have, some roads that you take have a low success rate. For example, you can offer home sellers 50 cents on the dollar to buy their homes, and 99% of them are going to reject your offer. Accept that a certain amount of rejection is part of any endeavor that you take on. Okay? Number 4 is to avoid automatically assuming that the reason for the rejection is related to you. For instance, there are hundreds of reasons why a woman might refuse to go out with you that have nothing to do with you personally. Maybe she's already involved with somebody else. Maybe she's maybe she's not interested in the members of the opposite sex, right? Maybe she likes girls. Maybe she just got out of a long-term relationship and she's not ready to have another one. Maybe she's going to be moving soon. That happened with my daughter, actually. Maybe she's going to be moving soon. Or maybe somebody in her life is ill and she's taking care of them. You just don't know. There's all kinds of reasons that do not have to do with you. Number 5 is remember that each rejection is bringing you closer to success. How can you fail if you avoid quitting? Keep at it, and eventually you'll find success, the success that you're seeking. So salespeople are trained to believe that every no is another step closer to a yes. And I heard this for years and years and years and years, right? Get through the 99 no's so that you can get to the 100th person and they say yes. And I will tell you that somebody who's been selling since the late 80s, that is an accurate statement. That is an accurate statement. There's many times when I've wanted to give up. And right before I give up, I get that yes. And then I'm like, yes, yeah, woohoo. And then I'm excited. And also, remember that everyone deals with rejection. The most successful people get rejected the most. Let's see. So for me, I consider myself a pretty successful person because I live the life that I want to live and I don't take anybody else's baloney, and I go down the path that I want. And I have dealt with a lot of rejection and a lot of turmoil. I have one time I had a house that I was selling for a profit, and the whole deal went sour, and I got rejected by the bank, and I actually was homeless for about 3 days with a small child and a family and animals to try and find a place. And so, I learned from that. The next house deal I did went a lot smoother because I learned so much from that one. But also, it's an opportunity for you to know how resilient you are. Another one is monitor your self-talk. I talk a lot about self-doubt. A lot. I wrote a book about it. You can go to nomoreselfdoubt.com and you can see it right there on that website. But monitor your self-talk. Keep your thoughts positive and upbeat. A poor mood and expectations give poor results. Say good things to yourself and good things will happen. Continue to give yourself good positive feedback, right? The last one that I wanted to talk about is to treat yourself well. A failure is not an excuse to mistreat yourself. Overeating, drinking, excessive spending, that isn't the answer. Celebrate the fact that you made an effort. Maybe your rejection even deserves a small reward, right? Because as I said before, you wouldn't be getting rejected if you weren't doing anything. If you're not moving forward in your life, you're not going to get rejected. So be happy that you even got a rejection in the first place. It can actually garner a celebration. It's one of the things that I coach on, is to celebrate little wins. But sometimes a little win is actually getting a no, is actually getting a rejection, because you went out there and you put the effort in. All right, so rejection is just an undesired outcome. It's no different than missing the strike zone during a baseball game. You wouldn't walk off the mound after one errant pitch, right? You'd keep throwing the ball. Avoid allowing rejection to have a negative impact on your mood or your behavior. Learn and grow and try again. Stay in action in the direction that you want to go, regardless of the obstacles. All right, I hope that helped you tonight. As I said, I do have nomoreselfdoubt.com. You can check that out right now. That's available for you. I also have a free ebook that you can grab, and that is at whatstopsme.com/ebook. You can grab that anytime you like. And that, by the way, that free ebook does not send you anywhere else. When you click that button you put your email in, you click the button and it gives you the free ebook, and that's it. It doesn't take you to another page. You don't have to go through a sales pitch or anything like that. It's a free ebook for you. But what it does do is it gets you on my email list. And I produce content all the time. And so I do send valuable information to my email subscribers. And so if you want to be a subscriber of my email list, go to whatstopsme.com/ebook. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And I wish you all the magical days your heart desires.